This year we teamed our poets up with photographer Kimmy Kraut, and we wrote based on inspiration from her Yesteryear Breezes series. We chose to house the poems in abstract tree trunk forms, made of metals and fabric. The tree trunks representing cycles of life and layers of history.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and my poem, Someplace Warm, contrasts a cold, wintry day with the comfort and warmth of home. The details in the poem come from the story of my own life, from when I lived outside of Pittsburgh for a few years, attending graduate school. And having been born and raised in South Carolina, I can truly say it's the coldest place I've ever been. And as well, I also had an English roommate who appears in the poem. We had a fast friendship and many conversations, and our hearts were knit together quickly. So that's a little bit about the poem Someplace Warm.
So my process as a painter is very different than my process as a writer. And when it comes to writing poetry, my approach is really just a stream of consciousness, very spontaneous, whatever comes to mind, free thought approach. And so this was just a very different thing for me to sit down and look at a series of images and create poetry based on those images themselves. Kimmy's image, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, really inspired me, and I felt like that image really depicts light breaking through the cracks of something that's falling apart and in a state of decay and breaking down, and life coming out of that.
I wrote Awakening. This poem is about when we're children, we just naturally do things like dance and play and sing to the top of our lungs, and we play. We're playing all the time, and we spin and we twirl. Love your girl. But there's definitely a lightheartedness that is just in the heart of a child, that somewhere something happens and it starts to fade until, in most adults, there's not even a trace of it anymore, and yet your heart knows that there's something missing, that you want to be light and free, but work and alarm clocks and bills and kids and mortgage and everything just starts to take over. Like a line from the poem says, that marching overtakes dancing, and your heart gets neglected, but it's still there, and it still is trying to be free. But your mind, with everything that you've got to do and everything that you've defined yourself as, it holds your heart in a prison of sorts. And so this poem is about that journey back to find when you stopped believing, when you stopped dancing. As you begin to recover your heart, it's like the trees that are alive and growing. They grow through these walls. They grow from your heart and not your mind. And the walls are all gone. And you can be twirling and rejoicing in grace all over again.